Hello everyone and welcome back to Bluegrass Dreams to Seams. I have my kimono jacket finished out of that beautiful fabric that I purchased in England. I'm looking forward to sharing all that with you. The way this video is going to go is I am going to show you close up the jacket first, and then I'm going to insert a short video about the front edge finish so that you know how to do that in case you've never worked with fold over elastic. And then we'll do a further comments with me wearing the jacket and some things I would like to change with the second one. And probably wrap up the video with just me doing some twirls and stuff in the living room. Something really simple. So the video I don't expect to be very long. I always try to hold my videos at least by 10 minutes, no longer than 15. So I expect this one to be around 10 minutes long. I am so thrilled with the way this jacket turned out. I had my doubts a little bit there for a while yesterday when I realized, oh, it's not long enough. But I thought, you can add the pedal, it'll be fine. So I cut the pedal out, which I didn't want to cut it out of the 1.25 meters that is still untouched. So I pieced the back pedalum. I had to allow for a seam allowance, and that way I could get it out of bigger pieces of leftovers from the original 1.25 meters that was I cut from. So this is an afterthought, but I love it. It is perfect. I'm perfectly happy with that. I did hand stitch down the hem. It's just basically what I did was I serged it, and then I used that kind of like a guide to just barely turn under an edge, and it's just beautiful that way. I did top stitch this in place, this seam allowance. I top stitched this seam allowance in place and the one going up that side. This is the cuff. It's simply folded in half and sewn on. You can see I serged that. And you can see that there are other colors. It's not just this orangey color in different shades, but there's other colors in this as well. This is kind of a grayish green. Black is beautiful with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a black shell under it, but I was kind of hoping to go for purple, and this is really the only place that purple shows up in the front. It's more prominent in the back. But we did toss around several ideas on how to finish this edge. One of them being taking the lace border, which if you remember is pretty wide on one side, and we thought about using that. I was discussing this with Terry, and we decided it was still going to present issues on how to finish the raw edge of the jacket. So we tossed that one aside. We talked about the bias tape because I did buy bias tape. Well, I bought fabric to make bias tape. It was a knit fabric. And we tossed that aside because of time. And then we kind of looked at this thicker end here that I'm pointing to, cutting this lace off and just using that to help finish. But we decided it wasn't wide enough. It was going to present some issues. So we tossed that idea aside. And that's when Terry said, do you have any black fold over elastic? And I thought, oh, that would be pretty on there. And I said, well, no, I don't have any black because I've used it all. So she went home. It took her about 5 minutes to run home and pick up this black elastic that she had, and it's a wider one than most of what I have. I have the narrow. I do have the white in wide, but I did not have black at all, period. And we looked at the narrow first. It was going to be too narrow, just like that trim on that lace. So we decided to go with this black fold over elastic. Now, yesterday when I finished everything, I thought, well, I need to rest up before I put this on. So I actually waited till this morning to put that on because I wanted to be fresh, rested, um, to think about what I was going to be doing. So here's the back. You can see there's more purple that shows up on the back. And if I had thought about that, all I would have had to do was switch the positions of where I was cutting these two fabrics, and I would have had more purple show up on the front. But, afterthoughts. So now we're going to do the tutorial on the fold over elastic. So what you want to do is go ahead and sew it to where it's like this. So I have stitched with this laying like this, and I stitched all the way down the length of this, coming to this midline that you can kind of see on this lace. If I hold it in the light, maybe you can see it's right there. There's a midline. There it is. But you still can't really see the midline on it. There it is. See that midline? You can also see it from the dull side. In good light, you can see it. So I've stitched that down. Now all you do is I captured that corner there. I folded it up so that it would be nice and neat. This, and I put my needle down, and you're just going to fold this over and stitch along that edge. And if it does look like it's kind of, wanting to stretch, just release your foot pressure and just take your time with it. It's not a race, but you do want it to look nice. And so you just stitch that right down in place, and it gives you nice results. So there's what it looks like when you're finished. Back side, right side. I like it. Am I excited about this project? I mean, y'all, this is like so pretty, and I'm so happy that I asked for advice on different things because it's been so long since I've done anything with this kind of fabric. But that fold over elastic idea was wonderful. Now around these curves here, especially around the shoulders, I did stretch it just slightly both times. The lower got stretched just a little bit, and the top got stretched just a little bit, just to make sure that it would go around that curve easily. I'm really, really pleased with this whole outfit. Isn't this pretty? Now you may be asking, what is your black shell? It's a store-bought from years ago, Chico's. Is there anything I would change about it? Well, yeah. Right here, it is perfect, but right here, it's a little snug. Now, I lose 10 more pounds, it will not be an issue. So I'm not worried about that. Right now, it's the perfect length, but if I wanted to make one out of a lighter, more flowy fabric, I think I would love to do the length that Terry had, and either lengthen the front and back pattern pieces, or I would go ahead and do this length but add the longer um, pieces for the pedalum part to that. So that would mean the front would come somewhere right above here, and the back would come just below your derriere. So that would be really fun to make that one, and I think I would love it just as much. I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled with the way this all worked out. The photo elastic idea was wonderful. Thank you, Terry. She came up with that idea yesterday. Terry, for helping me get to where I can have this to wear on my anniversary, which is Sunday. 46 years we'll be celebrating. And I'm really looking forward to that day to be all kind of dressed up and look so pretty. So thank you again, Terry, for all your help. I do really, really appreciate it. And thank you for all the viewers who just kind of stepped in here with me to cheer me on. Thank you, Susan, for taking me to this fabric store in Norwich.